Well, hi there, gang. Welcome to another 30. This is your host, Patrick. I want to thank you for being here on another wonderful, although kind of chilly where you are. I don't know if it's cold, it's warm. I know where my guest is coming from is probably warm and maybe 80 to 90 degrees, but here is in the 50s and promise to go down into the 40s tonight. So I want to make sure that we come on and talk to our guest. One of the things that someone told me years ago, if you want to appear smart and intelligent, surround yourself with smarter and more intelligent people. And so I've taken that advice throughout my entire life, and I've decided to surround myself with those that may know more than I do in certain areas. Also, someone told me, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So just trying to take these words of advice and surround myself with those that know more than me so that I can glean from them and I can learn a lot more. Well, tonight, my guest, I view her as one of the smartest people when it comes to summits, when it comes to tech, because I've learned so much from her over the last 2 years. And I hope and I know that you will learn a lot from her. This is, I think, the third time that she's on. So just by her coming on 3 times on the 30, you know how important she is to me and how much she knows. So I am going to bring her on shortly. But if this is your first time on the 30, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for continuously watching. Those that have been around and have seen us and watched us in the past 2.5 years. Thank you for being here. The 30 can be seen on 3 platforms. If you want to see all of our episodes, you can simply go to our YouTube channel under the Jackman Group LLC, and you can find us there. Make sure you drop your name, or if you simply want to say hi, drop it in the comments field. If you have a question for upcoming guests, make sure you drop that in the comments box, and I'll make sure that she gets that. She'll see it when I see it. Also, share and like the broadcast. We like to extend this out to as many people as possible, whether you are watching it live or in replay. And do me a huge favor, just tell us where you're watching from. We want to know more about you and where you are viewing this broadcast from. So if you can help us with that, that will be tremendous. So I'm going to bring our guests up shortly. Give us about 10 seconds and we'll be right back. Again, we welcome you to the 30. This is where we highlight entrepreneurs, leaders, small business owners, and those that are doing some positive things. And this young lady, this brilliant lady all the way from South Carolina, and I'm going to bring her on. Erica, welcome to the 30.
Hello, thank you for having me on. I am honored that I've been on your show 3 times now.
I think this is the 3rd time. So this is great. I was saying in terms of if you want to learn as an individual, the more that you surround yourself with people that know more than you will glean from them and you'll appear smarter. Because when people ask you things, you're like, oh yeah, but they don't know who you got it from. So thank you so much. You are, if you tell our hosts, our guests, and our viewers and listeners, who is Erica Bates and what does Erica do?
So I am a virtual summit strategist, and I got to tell you, Patrick, the reason why you were invited to the Virtual Summiteers Mastermind group is because you're brilliant. So we want to be surrounded by brilliant people, and that's why you're there. But yeah, I'm a virtual summit strategist, and I'm in South Carolina, best state in the whole union, and you're welcome to move here.
Well, that's debatable. That's debatable. So, what is a virtual summit strategist?
So I mostly help you with tech and funnels during your event design. So you tell me what your goals are. I help you figure out the strategies, the funnels to help you with that automation, that tech that will help you get there.
Okay, all right, great. So you work behind the scenes with the client, and when do you start? At what function, what area of the planning or execution of the summit does Erica come in?
I like to start with your goals because if we're on different pages, how I set up a virtual platform and your idea of your goals of what you want to happen before, during, and after can be mismatched. And we need to be on the same page. A summit can be put together, and I have done this in 4 days if we're on the same page. It can be a lot of trouble if we're on different pages.
And what would you consider as a summit? As a newbie, as you know, I'm new to this whole virtual thing, a couple of years in now. But what is the difference between a summit and an event? Is there a difference?
So a summit can be an event. Um, yeah, so you can have a summit in person and you can have a summit online. So it is, you have a host, you have a speakers, or I like to say a minimum of 10 to 12 speakers, and they all get to meet your audience. Your audience get to meet your speakers, and they all have something to do with what you're planning afterwards. Please don't think that a summit is an end all be all, because something must come after that summit. Something
Okay.
must happen after that event.
So more of a call to action,
Yes.
follow up, right?
Yes.
Based on
So
what we've learned from virtual events on virtual events, right?
yes. I mean, because
So,
somebody's just there to get you started and get you just a little bit of information. We can give you all the information up front, but you're going to be so overwhelmed and you're going to want somebody to hold your hand.
okay, so you basically work from the beginning, from a strategic standpoint, all the way through, and helping someone design and execute on their goals. Is that kind of a summary?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. Now, I know that you also have, I see up on your background here, Talk Virtual. So in addition to being a strategist, you also have your own talk show, virtual talk show. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I got to tell you, I'm nosy and I really love events. So much so that I invite other event producers onto the show so they can tell me their strategies, their models, their versions of events. And we take the best part of that and we just share it with our fellow virtual event producers, because we all want to know what each other's doing. And this show does that every Thursday.
So you're on every Thursday morning on the
That's right.
East Coast. What time is that, Erica?
10 a.m.
All right. So someone wants to see it. They can see it where? Is it all over? I know, because you have I don't know how you do it, but you have 10 or so destinations. So what specific? I know Facebook, because I catch you there. I
Yes.
also catch you on LinkedIn. Are you
Yes,
also on YouTube?
that's right.
Okay. All right. And where else? What other platforms can they view the show?
So there is Twitter, Twitch, Trivio, D Live, Telegram. Yeah. So I'm trying my best to be omnipresent. I'm trying my best not to ask the viewers to stop what they're doing and find me on a certain platform. If you just happen to love Twitter, I want you to catch my show on Twitter. If you happen to love Facebook, I don't want you to have to go anywhere else but there to see my show.
And who was your guest today? I know you had someone on. What type of guest do you bring on? If someone wants to be a guest or desire, what is the profile that you look for? And we'll talk about how do they get in contact with you shortly. But specifically, what type of guest do you look for to to be part of your show?
Okay. So today's guest was Justin, and please forgive me, I can't pronounce his last name, but he is the founder, owner, creator of a Crowd Party. And I want to have people on Talk Virtual that has anything to do with events. Anybody who can help you level up your events, move your events forward, or keep your events going. Um, his program, Crowd Party, helps with event engagement. So, and that's always a fun thing because you don't want to be at an event bored.
Right, right. And how do you get your guests? Because someone watching or listening may say, I would like to do a live talk show. They don't understand. Sometimes it can be very challenging, but how do you get your guests?
Okay, so my favorite scheduling program is Book Like a Boss. If I am interested, I will send out a link to my scheduler and it'll tell them about the program. Um, all my social channels that I string to, and I let them know that the show is going to be about them and what they do. And when they book an appointment, they get an email reminder, and if they put in a phone number, they will get a text reminder. So we'll meet 10 minutes before the show, and then we'll go live.
Wow, that's great. Now I know a little bit about you, Erica, and your story. But is this something that you went to school for, or is it something that you just learn and you continue to learn as you move forward?
I went to school for a lot of things, but none of them was event design, graphic design, marketing, A+ hardware and software. But no, I didn't get to go to school for events. I really wanted to host events in person. And I tell you, just about everybody here where I live just told me no, they didn't want me to rent their space. So instead of worrying about hurt feelings or having hard feelings, I remembered what my favorite marketing teacher said is, if you want something and someone is telling you no, you're talking to the wrong person and you need to talk to someone else. So my other choices were to buy land and get a building put on it, built, or just host events online. So I thought the internet has never told me no. The internet never cared what kind of events I wanted to host. The internet never cared who I wanted to host for. It just let me do what I do, and I can keep moving forward on the internet.
Fantastic. So how did you learn so much stuff? Because I am just fascinated by the things that you do and the knowledge that you have. If I have a question, I can call you, or well, not call, but message you, and I know there's a response there. So how did you learn all this tech stuff and strategy and virtual events and summits and so on?
Tell you, when I tell you that I am nosy, I can't help it. I love events. And the best information I would say is usually hidden in the written words. So there's blog posts. I talk to my phone a lot. My phone tells me what to look for. I asked my phone which social platforms do event producers hang out, and it told me Facebook and LinkedIn. So then I asked my phone, and which groups do event producers hang out, and it gave me a list of 10. And I asked the same thing about LinkedIn, and it gave me another list. So you just hang out with like-minded people, like you were saying earlier, and they'll tell you things. Sometimes you don't even have to ask. You just sit there and watch.
So wait, so you pick your phone up
Mhm.
and you just say, tell me about where people hang out.
Yep.
And it just gives you the list of things.
Yep. Sometimes it'll talk back, but most of the time it'll just give me a list. So when it gave me the list for Facebook, it gave me a lot, and I just chose the top 10. And the same thing for LinkedIn.
Is there a special program on the phone that you look for, or just in terms of whether it's Siri or Google, you
Yeah, I
just
was
say,
talking to Google.
okay, so tell me about the best platform or where people hang out, and it just gives you a list, and then you select from that list.
Yep. That's it.
I like that. That's working smart and not hard. Fantastic. Now, I know that you have some other things that you do. One of the things that you and I have talked about extensively is repurposing. What is repurposing, and what is the value of repurposing?
So I love repurposing. I also love distribution. I like to start off with distribution because it is the easiest thing. Let's say we're on the 30 right now. After the 30 has ended, if you like the show, if you feel like you're having a really good conversation, I would say air this episode 2 more times the same day. You can ask your phone, when is the best time to display content or post content, and it'll tell you. So you ask your phone about the times, you schedule this episode and have it go out 2 more times, because Facebook, LinkedIn, other places, they don't show your content to everybody. And who knows, when people get off work or when they decide to hang out on the internet.
Wow. So that's good, because I know we had talked about that in terms of how can we repurpose the 30, and you're the expert at that piece, right?
Yeah. So,
So you said there's a specific time that we need to take it and repurpose it, and the amount of times that you do it. So time in terms of day, hour, and then the amount of time. So again, could you tell our viewers and those that are watching and listening, from your research, what is the best time to advertise or promote your show? And then from a repurposing standpoint, how many times your research tells you that we need to repurpose it or send it out?
okay, so some platforms will only let you put out an announcement a week at a time. So and it only puts out that one announcement that one time, and it'll just stay where it is for about a week, and people will have to find it. They're not promoting you, but you can keep putting out that announcement many times as you want. So let's say you have a let's see, like a poster of us, says the 30, and you put it on Facebook, you put it on YouTube, and you put it on LinkedIn. So you can put that out at least 2-3 times a day if you wanted to, just to say, or have like little posts written about your content that's about to come up. You can make Facebook events. You can make LinkedIn events, and you can ask people to sign up to watch your show, to give them reminders. You can DM in Facebook your friends list. If you have a Facebook business page, all the people who have liked your page, you can send them a DM about your shows that's coming up. The same thing with LinkedIn. When you make that LinkedIn event, you can ask your connections if they would like to see this show. See what else you could do. I've already said the social post. You can make a video promos, like 15 seconds to 2 minutes, talking about your excitement for this show, and you can schedule that to go out as many times as you want. There's no limit. So if you're only going to do it once, maybe a few people will see it, but if you keep reposting it, a lot more people will see it. I like to do that because I want to give people a chance to see me and what's coming up, who's going to be on the show.
Wow, that's great information. If I'm talking to Erica Bates, she is a virtual summit strategist and also host of Talk Virtual, which is a talk show. And you can watch that live on Thursdays, 10 a.m. Eastern time, or you can watch it on all her destinations in replay. Now, I know next year you're working on something big, because you've helped others like myself, but you are working on something for you. Let's talk about that. What's going on, the dates, what should be planned for? Give us some more information about that.
Okay, so next year, 2023, January 19th and 20th, I'm going to host a workshop for virtual event producers. Is titled Virtual Event Producers Leveling Up. It's like, what do you need to level up your business? Do you really need an LLC versus a sole proprietorship? What kind of business insurance do you need for virtual events? What happens when someone has paid you $10,000 for an event and your Wi-Fi goes out? Stuff like that. So also, I've been to plenty of events where they put you in the beginner section. So let's say you don't need any knowledge about business insurance or know the difference between an LLC or a sole partnership. Let's say you want to move on to the beginning of the prep of goal setting for events. Let's say you want to go to during the event, like what happens, what do you need to create engagement for an event? Well, how do you pick your team? How do you let go and trust that the person you hired who said they can do what they do, you've tested them to see what they can do. How do you just let go and believe they're going to actually do what they told you that they were going to do? And then let's see, after the event is distribution and repurposing, all the things you can do with that event content after the event is over. And what do you want your speakers to get from your event? What do you want your sponsors to take away from this event? What do you want your attendees to take away from that event? And what did you want for yourself for hosting and or producing that event? So that's why we're having that in January, the 19th and the 20th.
Awesome. And that's all going to be virtual.
Yes.
Okay, great. Shout out to Janice Holland. Shout out to you. She said, this is a great idea. Looking forward to watching the show. And again, if you want to see Erica, her talk show virtual is called Talk Virtual. And that's on Thursday mornings from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Let's talk about, now you have so many things going on, Erica. You are a strategist, you're a host, but you also have a mastermind. Talk to our viewers and listeners about what is a mastermind and what is your specific mastermind and what is it all about?
Okay, so a mastermind is a group of people that come together, or a like-minded group of people that come together that talk about one subject, and our subject is virtual events. We don't believe in a hive mind. We like to think that everybody has their own opinion and everybody brings their brilliance to the table. That's what we like about having Patrick with us. He told us about using your goals and making sure they fit into your sales funnels. That was brilliant. Like, and I want to be a linchpin. I want to help you go where you're going. Have you heard of the reticular activating system? Sometimes you don't notice it for yourself, but you really notice it for other people. So yeah, that's why.
And then, so I know you meet Fridays. And what time is that for if someone wants to join?
It's Fridays at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Eastern.
All right, good. And is the mastermind open? And is there an investment? Because we don't talk about price on this show. We don't talk about costs on this show. We talk about investment, right? Because there's a difference between investment and price. Price, when you buy something, you don't get anything back. Investment is when you invest in something and you have a return on it. So the difference between price and investment. So what is the investment, if there is one, to get into your mastermind?
So we do let you visit. You can visit up to 2 weeks, and the investment is $10,000 for the year.
Okay. All right. Great. Awesome. Erica, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
My favorite social hangout spot is LinkedIn.
So they can simply go to Erica Bates and pull that up on LinkedIn?
That's right.
Okay, great. Is there, what's the, let's say they want to have some questions after the show. How can they get a hold of you outside of going to LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is the best way, but if you want to email me, it is Erica Bates at talk-virtual.com.
And there it is right there. Erica at talk-virtual.com. That's
Yeah.
a lot. Okay, let's talk about in the last couple of minutes that we have here. Let's talk about some of the things we talk about what you're doing. Let's talk about where do you see yourself going in the next year, 2 years, 3 years. I know as we plan, right? We always say that we plan, and sometimes God laughs at us, but we always like to plan ahead. So where do you see yourself going, and what's next for Erica?
Okay, so I do want to get land. I do want to have that building built, and I do want to have events in person. But I am not going to stop doing virtual events. Um, yes, you can count in-person people, but sometimes you can't. You can't really account for everything. But with virtual, it's just automatically recorded for you. And those numbers are very useful. That analytics are just very useful. So much so that you can use it to plan your next event or use it to plan around for your next event.
So you think virtual events and virtual meetings and live streaming, do you think that's here to stay, or was it just a fad and now we're going back into in person?
Oh, it's here to stay. I
Okay.
mean, you can't stop those numbers right now. It's 2022. It's a billion-dollar business. So, and it is still growing.
So it's not too late to get onto the virtual event stage or attend. And I love virtual events because I can stay home. I don't have to travel. Not that I don't love being around people, but if I can stay home in the comfort of my house and not travel, being late and stuck in the airport and so on, that's fine. So I love virtual events, and I've learned so much from you and others over the last 2 years. So I want to thank you for all that you do for us as novices coming into the virtual field and arena. Before you leave, we always do something for all of our guests, as you know, and this is what we call rapid fire. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. I know one already, so I'm not going to ask you about your food because I know pizza is your favorite food. So I'm not going to ask you about that one. But let's talk about what is your favorite movie?
Oh, Just Like Heaven.
Okay. All right. Great. Your favorite show, TV show?
Right now I'm thinking it's the Winx Saga. Yeah.
Favorite type of music?
R&B, maybe alternative rock.
Okay. Oh, wow. Now that's different. I didn't know that about you.
Big Kings
So
of
who's your
Leon
favorite
fan.
artist?
For alternative rock, I'd say Kings of Leon, but they're right up there with The Roots and Red Hot Chili Peppers and India Ari.
Okay, great. If you could vacation anywhere in the world, where will it be?
I would really like to visit Queensland, Australia.
Nice. And why Queensland?
All the pictures look really pretty. It's either there or Easter Island, but I think I want to go to Queensland first.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we're gonna have to help you get there. Janice says here, virtual events increase attendance because of the flexibility. I completely agree. What are your thoughts on that one?
That's true.
Yeah. Erica, any last words for our viewers and listeners as we close off this episode?
If you want to host a virtual event, you can do it. You can host it on Facebook, you can host it on LinkedIn, you can host it on YouTube. All you need to do is have a subject, write out your goals for that event, and then go live. You can have a virtual event. All you got to do is do it.
So you don't
And
need
if
to
you need
have
help, here.
a lot of speakers or anything. You can just do it solo, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, that will mostly be a webinar. I would say if you're going to call it a summit, you're going to have at least 5 more people with you.
Okay. All right. See, I'm learning. I'm learning. All right. Your email address again is?
Erica@talk-virtual.com.
Great. And if you want to get a hold of Erica, you can catch her on LinkedIn or you can see her show on Thursdays. And she always have an exciting guest. I don't know where she gets these guests from, but every time I tune in, there's always someone with great knowledge. And she's on. You can catch her Thursday mornings from 10 a.m. to 11 on any of the socials. Erica, thank you so very much. Say hi to your family, and we will see you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate you having me.
Not a problem. So we've been talking to Erica Bates. As I said, if you want to know anything about virtual events, strategy-wise, contact Erica. I guarantee you she will be able to help you and take you places for your events that you may not think that your event is capable of. Janice, yes, please do. Please contact Erica. She'll be able to guide you along. So thank you again to Erica. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for the opportunity to be in your space on another Thursday. We will see you next week where we will have another exciting guest. So take care. May God bless you and your